will. Basically, the kine, as we know, is basically, I think it's a Greek term for motion, as we learned earlier from the other gentleman. And so basically what I like to do is use the kinesthetic approach, being the movements of the body, to enhance the singing experience, or to enhance the vocal quality, or enhance the vocal texture, or colors. So, so has anybody been in the class with me earlier throughout the week? Okay, if you have not, okay, good. So we got a good sharing of both here. So those of you who have seen are kind of familiar with what I do, using all kinds of goofy things to generate different sounds, which are really fun. So what I'd like to do is actually just go through, and if you guys are taking notes, you can get your pens and papers ready, but give you just tools and instruments, that we can put on our tool belt, and that we can break out in front of the chorus or the quartet or in your sectionals or at any point in time to help you, come on in, it's just fine, to help you improve on several things. Taking a group of singers and making them sound like one. If you're having trouble with maybe singing a specific high note or a specific low note, or this chord is out of tune, or this note is flat. So many of the techniques that I'll share with you today will help resolve some of those issues. So obviously what we're going to do today is I'm going to inundate you with just a bunch of ideas and concepts. Some of them you've heard before, but they may just be said a little bit differently. But then what I'd love to do is, after giving you the tools, is having some folks come up here, because I think there's nothing better than having an accurate representation of how this works, seeing it right in front of us. So with that, I'm going to open this first. Okay. Ooh, very fancy. Good. Okay, so what do singers have to juggle? Okay? What do singers have to juggle? So this is a little PowerPoint, or just document here that I've put together of all the things that we need to think about before we even sing a single note. All right? So I'll kind of run through this, and I'm going to kind of bounce around, etc. So don't pay too much attention that we're going to watch this verbatim. But when we talk about singing, before we even sing a single note, obviously our posture and the breath that we take is so important to our success. It's so important to our success. I use the terminology, I'll use it again. Tiger Woods lines up to that golf ball, and the most important thing that happens is this. With me? If that's not right in line, this is never going to come to fruition in a positive way. And sometimes, if any of you golfers out there, sometimes Tiger will be lined up and he'll backswing and he'll hear a camera or a bug will fly by and he'll just step away because he's not prepared to finish the swing. And it's just as important for a singer. If we take a breath and it's not a singer's breath, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Right? You can see some of the bullet points here. We say feet means you want your feet to step shoulder width apart. You want your knees flexed, your chest high, your shoulders gently rolled back. You want to be kind of on the balls of your feet. You want to make sure your tongue is low and relaxed, right? And you want to make sure your eyes are always alive. All right, so those are just quick things you can jot down, and you can take a screenshot, or I'd be happy to email this to anybody that wants it. But those are just quick, kind of 3, 4, 5, 6 little things. Okay, I'm in my singer's position. Now comes the breath. Okay, and again, we're going to deviate a little bit from this, as I've already talked about the backswing. But here's one thing I love to talk about. Jim Henry and I kind of came up with this document here over time. Instead of getting overly complicated about how to breathe, put your hands down here, breathe low, and you got to fill the tank and all this. What we like to do is keep it pretty simple. All we say is, put your hands right here on the side of your neck. Imagine those were fish gills. I want you to inhale through your fish gills. Ready? Very silent, very open, very full. You feel that? Everybody stand up for a second. Sorry, I guys have to work out here. Oh, look out. Just coming in like crazy. Good. Forgive me for being short. But here's the deal. Ready? Let's just take a regular old-fashioned singer's breath. Ready? And go. It's very noisy. It's very shallow. Exhale that. Let's breathe through the hinges of our jaw. Let's breathe through the fish gills, as we say. Breathe through your ears. Anything that can encourage the breath to come through this way. Sometimes, we often have, as many of you are doing, we have our singers put their hands right here and focus that breath through your hands. Here we go. How does that sound? Silent. Powerful. That's a good technique. Go ahead and take a seat. You're going to be getting up and down a lot, all right? 30 seconds. So again, I'm going to give you lots of tools right away. And I may even make you do some singing and some different things like that. We'll have some fun. But then we'll bring some folks down front, and you can play along and say, yeah, I think maybe they could use this tool, or maybe they could use that tool. But before we do anything, that singer's breath is so important. So to those first, that letter A up there, does that all kind of make sense? You know, feet, shoulder width apart, the chest relaxed, kind of tuck the shoulders back, kind of have that balls of your feet energy, we say, leaning up on the toes of your feet, right? So those are really, really important elements. Even before we sing a note, those have to be in check. Just always use that analogy, that Tiger Woods golf swing, right? Good, good, good. So moving down, we start talking about, okay, well, when we actually start to produce sound, what can we do to make sure that we're maximizing our potential as a singer? I'll kind of go through some of these. The candle flame. Everybody right here? Just singing. Good. Okay, let's continue to add to our tool belt. Let's take a good singer's breath and sing it. Better already. Got more richness to it, right? Good. So from my perspective and where I stand here, I hear a little bit of the just little bubbles, bumps in the road, as we say, right? And we want this to be like you guys have like air hockey tables, right? Just smooth, like you're running your hand across the air hockey table, right? So to do that, we use a technique like, all right, get your little candle. All right, everybody has to use their hands, all right? So whenever my hands come up, you have to do the same thing, okay? Here's your candle, right? And you got your little candle flame right here. When you sing this ooh, I don't want you to flicker the flame at all. It just has to bend. Example. Laser beam sound, right? So, right, so when you sing to me, I want you just to barely bend that flame. What we're doing is encouraging breath support down here so that we never get, sometimes during our soft passages in specific ballads, you know, sometimes you get a little bit weak and a little bit puny and the chords don't ring as well. This is something that's going to help combat that. So if you're a director or if you're a section leader and you're working with your section, hey, let's sing to the candle. Let's bend that flame. Let's sing the ooh again with the good breath through the fish gills here. And let's bend the flame. Here we go. Already much better. You feel it? Just bend it. Perfect stream of air. Take a breath. Do it again. Just bend that flame. There. Yes, we just took, 50 voices and you made it one. Make sense? Simple technique, right? Simple technique. Rowing the boat. All right, you got to stand up. Sorry. You know where this is going, right? Now this is encourage the same sort of a technique, being no bubbles in the sound, but in a different way, right? Take hands, put them up, put them down, right? Put them down here. But here's the situation. You don't want to row your boat up here near your chest. You want to row your boat down here at your waist. Different sounds. Different sounds. Ah, right here on an ah. Everybody, row your boat up here near your chest. Watch me. Ah. Totally different sounds about where we row. You with me? Totally different sounds on where we row. Let's row this boat down low, okay? Get those oars deep in the water. You gotta feel the pressure down low. Feel the pressure down low, which keeps our sound grounded. All right, here, go. Yeah, listening closely here. You're getting great overtones now. We're getting great overtones. Let's do that again. Actually, let's do no rowing, and then let's row. Here we go on my cue. Sing. Why does it work? I don't know, but boy, it works. It works. Right? Right? Don't relax. Yeah, we're going to play with some of these other ones. All right, good. Let's just do, we use the magic marker and peanut butter are very similar. It's basically, Rob did it with us at the beginning of the very first rehearsal. He just says, it's that same sort of concept of pushing something out of the way or rowing something is to give, we're trying to give some solidity to the sound. That little bit of change times 50 voices is a big change out front. You with me? Does that make sense? So this is probably one of my favorites, the rubber band. Take your hands up here, put it back down low, and imagine you had a big rubber band. Okay, now you can't have a puny one, it's not a little rubber, it's a big rubber band, right? And when we sing, it's the same thing as rowing, but you'll even feel it even more. You ever seen an opera singer do this bit, right? Right, that sort of stuff? That's to give them that stability down here. Versus, you don't see them doing this very often, right? Right? So we focus that sound down low. Oh, right here, take your rubber band. But when you stretch it, you feel that rubber band. You feel the resistance down there. Oh, here we go. With the good breath. Ah. Oh. Get your rubber band and go. You guys be the listeners, you be the singers. Ah, with your rubber band. Without it, and then I'll give you the rubber band so they can hear the difference. Sing it. Oh. Put your hands, rubber band. Feel the difference. You guys be the listeners. You be the singers this time, all right? Sing, oh. Oh. Take your rubber band. Strengthen that. If you listen really close, just listen for that screaming overtone there. Do that again, guys. That was outstanding. Listen for that. Here we go. Ah. Oh. Rubber band. Beautiful. Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat. Isn't that fun? Simple tools, right? Simple tools. Any of us can use. Simple tools. Instead of saying, oh, we have to have more breath support to do this, and just tell them to row the boat or hold the rubber band. It gets rid of all these little wobbles in the sound. We've taken 50 random voices, male and female, and made them sound like one unit. You know, one unit. That's great. Awesome. Perfect example. Next is our resonators. All right, resonators are just the cavities in our head that bounce sound around before it comes out of our mouth. And based on those different resonators, depends on how it sounds. Right? We have people that sing very I mean, there's a whole variety of color, of timbres and resonators in our head. Okay? So, looking at this here, we have folks that sing in a very head tone. Oh, very head tone. Oh, it's a very light, kind of goes this direction. Some of us, have a tendency of maybe singing a little bit back. Oh, a darker tone. A very forward tone. So we have a whole tapestry and variety of different singers. And how do we get them all to sound like one? You got to stand up and you're going to find out. Here we go. Very good. That'll be our pitch. So these are going to be what we call your 6-shooters, right? These are just like guns that they use in the West, right? And this here is our playing field of what we have to play with, from the resonator side of things, okay? You with me? So, if example, is very dark, very backwards. I'm trying to focus, so you focus the sound where you're shooting. And you have to physically think that sound is going back, out the back of my head. What does that sound like? Try that. Point it way back and sing it through the back of your neck. Yeah, very dark, very dark. No frontal placement to that, right? Which is a perfect example. We have some singers that naturally live in that space. All right, let's go to the other extreme. Point that laser sound right at me. This should almost be nasty and ugly. Ah, where there's no space. Ah, here we go. Ah, we have all of the range in between there. We have all the range. Follow my cue, and I'm going to stop you at what I feel is the right combination of space. If you go, and roll that forward. Are you with me? Take your guns. Point it backwards. Let's start there. Good breath through the hinges or through your fish gills. Away we go. You guys sing it. Sing that note there. Perfect. You guys, let's hear that note. Actually, let's start dark and I'll rotate you guys forward. You be the listeners. Here we go. Maybe sings really bright, heart of my heart. We've heard that sound before, right? From our lead singers sometimes. Heart of my heart. Or if we have a really dark way, go, heart of my heart. Maybe he needs to be dialed this direction. So everybody, instead of getting into all the technicals of, you got to get this and that, everybody can relate with this. Simple? Does this make sense? So it'll be really evident once you're sitting down, we'll listen to some folks up here give some examples, and you say, it's so easy, right? So I'm hoping that you can take these tools and bring them back to your course or quartet with you. Okay, go ahead and take a seat until the next time to make you stand up. Actually, let's go ahead and stand back up. Right here, same thing. Beautiful. Let's breathe through the hinges of our jaw, as we say, or breathe through the fish scales, or breathe through our ears. Every time from now on, that's our singer's breath. It's never, it's always. Let's practice that again. Let's take a good singer's breath. It looks like this. And you got a full tank of gas, full tank of petrol, right? Right, good. Go ahead and exhale. Take your hands and put them like this. Just do what I do. Here we go. All of a sudden, without doing anything different or singing any louder, all of a sudden the chorus went, and the overtones went, and just started screaming. Why? It works, right? Let's do it again. Actually, let's do this again. Let's do tabs again. You guys do the listeners. Right here. Let's get a good singer's breath. Let's sing well. Let's sing well so that we can have a good contrast here. You got a little bit of change. It's a wonderful change. It's subtle, right? It's a small change, but a brilliant one. Good. Your turn. You guys be the listeners. Breathing through here. Screaming overtones. It's screaming overtones. All right, I really will let you move this head right here. This head, yeah. Okay, you can really sit down now. All right. Good. It's fun, isn't it? Stuff's fun. I love doing this stuff, man. I spend hours doing this stuff. It's wonderful, wonderful. Just simple, elementary thing. But it's really fun is when you go to like a high school level, the 14 to 18-year-old age, and they're trying to find their voices, and the voice haven't really matured yet. So we get them to do all these different fun techniques, and it just really blows their socks off. So it's really, really fun. Good. Oh man, I may make you stand back up again. Yeah, you need to stand back up. Sorry, it's only because I love you, right? It's only because I love you, I care. So good. Okay, can we take this head in? There you go. Sorry. So, one I skipped is fill the barrel. And filling the barrel has actually several different opportunities to it. Let's have the basses and baritones here, and leads and tenors here. So let's have a perfect fit. Pick one of those two notes you begin. Let's sing a perfect ah. Here we go. Sing. Yeah, you guys are ringing chords. All right, if you listen really close here, you're making a beautiful ninth note in there. Do that again. That was actually really good. Take your hands and put them down here. We've done this exercise before, I'm sure. We're going to add an element to it that, for some reason, just seems to work really well. So, all I want you to really focus on in your little world is filling your barrel. Fill the barrel with sound. It's the same sort of thing as kind of the rowing. We're just trying to focus the sound down low. Right? That's kind of the goal. So let's go ahead and execute that, but follow my additional movements here. Here we go. On the ah. Take your hand. Yeah, we call it stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. Let's have this section over here. Just the same thing on the ah. Here we go. Stir the pot. But it sure makes it sound better out here, right? And what it does is, we're starting, just that extra bit of rotation kind of fools the mind into thinking, I need to maybe beef this up or make it more rich. It's a big pot of thick pudding or whatever it may be, So that's a good example. Let's have this half do it. You guys, here we go. moist chords to get that richness into that depth of sound, and it still kind of keeps the ring. Now, on the contrary, on the opposite end, you know, like, part of my heart might be a good stirrer opportunity for the lead singer, because, you know, the lead and the baritone switch, so maybe when the lead goes down to that note, he's singing that fifth with the bass, that would be part of my heart, a good stirring opportunity. But then on the contrary, it would be part of my heart I love. And that would be a totally change of color. We would use, I think I put it on here somewhere, I've got the whisk it. You guys know the whisk, right? You know when you do your eggs or whatever, right? Do a whisk up here when we get to a higher note. So let's sing heart of my heart. Let's barrel that one. I love, and let's whisk that one, and listen to the color change we get from the barrel to the whisk. Heart of my, here we go. Okay, let's have everybody up here. Heart of my heart. Everybody up there. Heart of my heart, I love. You know, put us on top of the pitch, and it helps us not go, heart of my heart, I love, and bring all the barrel weight, the barrel, you know, richness to the higher notes. Make sense? So sometimes if the leads or the, you know, the baritones are singing a higher note, you whisk it. You whisk it. It encourages light, fluffy singing, yeah, if you will. Yes, sir, up top.
You can't do this on stage.
You can't do this on stage. That's a very good point. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. So, yeah, stay with me, because what I want to do is rattle. Yeah, good. So we'll go through. We're going to go through and explain. All right, we know we can't do this on the contest stage. It'd be really crummy choreography. But there are ways around this, and I'll explain it to you as we get a little bit further. Let me scroll up on a little chart here. Okay, you guys with me on this? Is it all making sense? Yeah. Simple tools, right? Anybody can understand that. We're doing it in 1 second, you know? We're throwing it at you one time, and instantly the chorus, as I'm treating you now, is improving. And imagine we did this every week, every rehearsal. We did these sorts of tools and techniques. All the director would have to do is just, you know, he just have to give you one of these, you know, or maybe give you a little barrel, you know, turn there. Okay, you with me? So that's how these work. Okay, let's look at the pitch-o-meter. You can sit down for this one, I promise. Good, the pitch-o-meter. So we as barbershoppers have a tendency of singing flat, right? We all know this. It's a terrible disease to have, right? And we're trying everything we can in our power to resolve this, right? But we know it's just, at the end of the day, it's a disservice to the audience more than anything. It's a disservice to the audience. It's something I take personally really serious. I mean, I'm on a mission to improve the barbershop integrity when it comes to singing on pitch. So something we use at home is called our pitch-o-meter. Okay? There's no such device. It's actually just our hand. Okay? But here's how it works. Bum, bum. So from this point to this point is our pitch, right? Our half step. Bum, bum. When we sing as a quartet and chorus, we like to live, if this is the key, bum, we like to live right in this area. We like to live in the cracks of the piano keys. You with me? That's our mindset. You know, that's our mindset. So, bum, bum, and then there's all the variations in here. Example, bum, bum, which is higher than this. Now, this is high-level stuff here, all right? This is super detailed. This is painting with a very fine paintbrush. But it's important to understand that this world exists. You know, we don't explore this enough, you know, as barbershoppers, this gray area of singing truly on top of the pitch. You know, I talked about the chorus, the ambassadors of harmony back home. It's literally, as I said before, it took us about 30 or 35 years to learn how to sing on top of the pitch. And now it's a part of our culture, all the time. The chorus just, I can say this with sincerity, the chorus does not flap. They just don't anymore, ever. And it's because we worked. We would do counts such as, this is how it's crazy we are. We would go bum, and we would count 16 beats. And at the end of 16 beats, we had to be an accurate half-step sharp. Meaning, for those 16 beats, and we would end up a half step after 16 beats. So the point is, ingrained in our guys that there is this thin air, you know? There's these small margins that we live at. And we barbershoppers don't talk about that enough. But the wonderful part is barbershoppers can sing more in tune than a piano. You know, piano is tuned note by note by note, but we have the ability to tweak and alter our voices to play in that area. Now again, this is high-level stuff. High-level stuff. You know, this is the stuff you talk about with the top quartets and choruses. That hey, baritone, you gotta put that on maybe number 14 on the pitchometer. You know, between the half step, but it makes that chord ring. And we'll bring some guys up here later on. We'll play with the pitchometer. Any questions on that? Make sense? Simple technique, right? Stacking onion skins. Have you guys seen this, right? You heard that before? Stacking onion skins, meaning, you know, part of my heart, so part of my, it's the same note, right? Bum, 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 same note. Wrong! Right? Part of my, every time we come back and revisit the note, it's never the same note. It's this sort of mindset that helps establish the philosophy and the culture of singing on top of the pitch. Now, obviously, you are leaders in our organization. The fact that you're here today, you're wanting to improve our craft and our skill. And these are techniques that, again, it's taken us 30 years to figure out. Bum, bum, bum. And you give it that one of these. You with me? You with me? How about you first 2 rows, stand up really fast. I want you to go part of, and then I want you to flip your hands over on the second part. So bum, bum, and then flip your hands over as we sing that. Part, here we go. Part of mine. So that puts us back up on the pitch, right? Versus the old way we would have done it. Part of my heart. And already we've lost a quarter step, just like that. So it's these attention to details that make all the difference as we start to create this culture of singing on top of the pitch. Let's do it one more time. Heart of mine. I bet we even have more room on top of that second heart. Heart of mine. Here you go, let's have fun. Heart of mine. Can you sing that? Heart of mine. We're singing it up a half, okay? Heart of mine. And now come down a little bit. Yeah, so what we're doing, and go ahead and sit down. What I'm doing is experimenting with the pitchometer now. You with me? So I'm having, this is our pitchometer. Heart of mine. Now this is dorky barbershop stuff. But that's how you can use these tools. If baritones, we always sing that note flat. Our baritones, we've got to get up on that last chord to make it ring. Bust out the old pitchometer, right? Bust out the old pitchometer. Where did we stop? Where were we? Stacking onion skins, same thing. Heart of my heart, I love. If you continue to do just this gesture here, I don't even know how you describe it on paper. Stacking onion skins, I promise you, your success rate will go dramatically up. Heart, everybody just sit where you're at, sing Heart of my heart, stacking the onion skins. Here we go. Breathing through here, our good technique, right? Heart of my heart, I love you. So already I can tell we are better off than we were before, for sure. There's no doubt about it. My ear, me standing out front here. Simple technique, right? Stacking onion skins. What else we got? Spinning the pitch. That's kind of the whisk thing. We flipped over the palms. You've all heard about keeping your ski lifts, you know, especially for lead singers who often hold the note. And then there's the echo behind them. You know, these, sometimes, you know, they have a tendency of flatlining. And you know what happens when you're in the hospital and you flatline. That's not a good thing, right? So we always have to breathe life in that. And we do that by thinking in our mind. We're lifting. It's always lifting. Does that make sense for the lead singer? Raise your hands if you're a lead. You know what I'm talking about. With those notes you hold, and then the basses and the baritones tend to do the little backup echo or whatever. That's your opportunity as a lead singer to lift with the ski lifts there. All right, gotta stand up. Here we go. Good. This is a good one here. This is worth noting. The beach ball. The beach ball. Okay, everybody bounce in the water. We're wading in the water. Yay. Okay, get your hands up here. Okay, you got a beach ball right in front of you. Okay, you're boing and you're bouncing in the water with it, right? And now when we get to a specific note, I want you to push yourself out of the water. With me? Pretty simple. So, heart of my heart. And you will always, always sing that note correctly and on pitch. You won't sing it flat, I promise you. Let's go, dear heart of my heart. Here we go, heart. And let's lift ourselves out on the lower note. We do this concept to lift us when we're going down. Think about that for a second. So if I was doing like ba-da-da, I would do ba-da-da. Make sense? Same thing, we would lift a window if we were going the other direction. Make sense? Going down versus that. Heart of my heart, here we go. Heart of my heart. It feels different, doesn't it? It feels different. That's exactly right. So if there's ever, man, Leaf, we got to get on that note. Our basses, we got to get up on that note. Give the old beach ball routine. One more time. Heart of my heart. Exactly right. Exactly right. Go ahead and take a seat again. Good. It's fun to experiment with that. Good. This other stuff. We could talk about. It's the functions of rhythm, which just give you different kinds of sounds, if you will. You know, there's a downbeat, you know, heart of my heart. That would be the downbeat, if you see that there. Away from the beat looks like this. You actually do these gestures. We have the chorus do these gestures, so it would come out different. Heart of my heart is a totally different sound when I do this. I love. This is called away from, or the off. Away from the beat is actually this direction. This is the off beat, and then into the beat is the other one, which I'm not going to get too bogged down on these right now. We can touch on those if we bring some people up. But the most important ones I really wanted to hit on were these ones up here, these tools. You can make almost any group sound better by implementing some of these tools and techniques. So these other ones down here, this is a vowel counter. You know, one of the things we talk about vowels a lot, don't we? Right? We have vowels, and these are called complementary vowels. Okay. So sometimes, like we have an E vowel, we can sometimes have a tendency as humans to sing very ugly E vowels. Now you're British, you guys have a better opportunity than us people that from the South. You know, hey, E, we got an E, right? I'm from the country, right? E. Well, we have complementary vowels, meaning if we have a bad mismatched vowel, let's do an E. I say E right here and an E, sing E. E. So the vowel complement here, I'm just going to show you how this chart works in case any of you want it afterwards. Let's go E, U, E, U, E. And listen to how it refines our oo vowel back to the E and how our E will end up perfectly matched together. So let's start on the E, oo, E, oo, E. With me? Start on the E. Good breath. E, oo, E, oo, E. Perfect complementary vowels, right? Our first vowel was E, and this one was E. So every time we migrated back to the oo, we didn't go E, oo, E. We went E, oo, E, oo, E. And we migrated more towards the oo, which is a more beautiful, rich sound. So that's how this chart works. I share that with you in O and A, and you can play around all with those later on if anybody wants this chart. You want to snap a picture of it with your phone afterwards. So what I'd love to do now, how much time do we have? I get terrible with keeping track of time. 20 minutes? 25 minutes. Okay, better. Okay. Good. All right, so we need some guinea pigs. We need some folks to come down front. Wonderful. All right, we got some ladies in the back. Let's make it a ladies group. Okay, good. Perfect. Unless there's a gentleman that wants to sing. Good. Okay, so just stand right here if you don't mind. Actually, let me do this. Let me turn them off. Hey. Heart of my heart. Can you just all sing the melody on that? Is that okay? Wonderful. Okay, ladies, here we go. Heart of my heart, I love you. Keep going. Life would be naught without you. Beautiful. All good singers, all good singers. Something very similar that we would hear in our session, all right? Kind of maybe 4, 5 different individual voice qualities, different timbres, different resonators, some with vibratos, some with not, some blendy voices. These are all the things we have to balance and juggle, right? These are all things we have to balance and juggle. So what I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm going to swing you over here. Okay, so what we like to do, as I've explained during the classes, we take some of our more robust voices, our stronger voices, not meaning that they're the better singers, but just our more rich voices. The difference between heart of my heart and heart of my heart. Both would be great voices to have in the chorus, but where do you position them? So typically we put our more robust voices, bigger voices in the center, and fan them out from there, being our softer voices on the ends. Okay? So that's listening to this one time through. I can hear that she's got a little bit more resonance than some of the other girls here. Again, the other voices are equally as beautiful. We're just positioning them different. Let's see how this sounds. Heart of my heart, we go. Heart of my heart. So already a little bit better. I love you. Good. So to my ear, better, better, better. So somebody throw a tool out that we just learned that we could probably use. No right or wrong answer, because you could probably... Onion skins. Yeah, so you guys are going onion skins. Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Heart of my... And then what we'll do is add an extra element. Let's go, heart of my heart. Let's put the sound on the teepee or the mountaintop when we get there. Good, let's do it. Let's stack the onion skins and put it on top of the mountain when we get there. Here we go. Heart of my heart. Yeah, so here's the thing. I felt like they were going through the motions. Yeah, I didn't hear much of it. Heart of my heart versus heart of my heart is totally different. And that little bit that we lost right there, we lost in 5 notes. So what happens to the remaining 150 that we have to sing for the song? Right? So don't go through the motions. You have to feel the onion skins that you're stacking. You have to hear you putting that sound on the top of the mountain. Yep, let's do it here, ladies. Heart of my heart. Better. I mean, vast improvement. Vast improvement. So what I'd like to see is if you guys maybe, I'll use the term, ground your sound. Heart of my heart. Ground the sound. Round it out to make it more rich. You're our lead singers. Are any of you really leads? So we have one lead, which is a wonderful example of how we're taking, what parts do you sing? Baritone? Bass? Flexible. Okay, let's take our hands here. Again, it's all about using our hands to get different sounds. Just follow my direction. So here's the thing, though. Here's what you have to challenge yourself and your singers with. They have to be thinking this and this as we add new elements, and this, and our posture. Now that's a lot to think about, but that, changing that and implementing that and making it part of your culture is what changes your chorus. Imagine every time the director's hands came up, it was... That's when you're ready to make some music. You with me? So every time I turn around, you gotta just... Okay, that's good. Good on you. You know, let's get into the singer's posture. Let's take that good breath and just follow my hands. Heart of my heart, I love you. Hear how that one, heart of my heart, and all of a sudden it got round and rich and beautiful. We could have probably done the same thing with the rowboat, or the rubber bands, or the peanut butter, or the paintbrush, or there's all these different variations to get somewhat of the same result. With me? Good, good, good. Throw something else out there. Let's just throw another technique out there. What was one I gave you earlier? Anyone?
Beach ball.
What is it?
Beach ball.
The beach ball. Good. Let's shoot on the heart of my heart. This technique here, going is the same sort of a thing, right? We're encouraging lift of pitch. We're coming down to the note, lifting ourselves out from the muck. Here we go. Heart. Heart of my heart. Good. Some of us got it. Some of us got it. Not all of us. We need a bigger beach ball, right? Some of us have a small beach ball. Here we go. Heart of my heart. Yeah, one late voice. You get that one of those, one bubble in there, which is okay. That's why we repeat. We rinse and repeat again and again and again. Again. Heart of my heart. That's good. So then we move on to the next section. And we add on to that. But then we always come back to the beginning. And we do it again. And we add on to that. And then back to the beginning. So back to your question, how do you can't do all this stuff on stage. Let's not do anything with our hands, and let's execute how we just did. Heart of my heart. So pretty good. It was better than the first time, but I bet we could do it better. So I would stop the section again and say, let's do it again. Be thinking. You have to be thinking. I mean, there's probably 15 things they have to think about. I love the analogy that was used one time is, you know, when our audience sees us, when they perceive us, we're just a duck gliding across the water. But below the surface, you know, I'm thinking of my posture, my pitch. I got to stack the onions. I got to do this. But for them, effortless. And that just comes with great rehearsal, rehearsing over and over and over again. This is fun though, isn't it? We say hard work is fun when improvement is evident. Hard work is fun when improvement is evident. This is improvement. This is fun to me personally. Some people know. But I don't know how you can do this and not feel a sense of reward. You know, it's exciting. Let's think of all those things and let's get the, you know, think the beach ball and let's see if it fixes that issue on. Heart of my heart. Will you guys circle up and sing to each other for a moment? Will you close your eyes and do it? I'll give you the breath. Eyes closed and. Heart of my heart, I love you. So here's what I want you to do. When your eyes are closed, I want you to put on your elephant ears. Big ears. Listen for all the nuance and the details of those singers around you. Elephant ears is a great term that was used one time. Our quartet does so, hey guys, elephant ears, elephant. Let's listen, y'all. Let's listen for the nuance of each other. Let's do it again. Close your eyes. I'll give you the breath. Put on your big girl ears. Here we go. Heart of my heart, I love you. Beautiful, wonderful, good. Yeah, they were ready to keep going, weren't they? Yeah. Good, go ahead and line back up again. Good, wonderful. So just different techniques, different tools to get different sorts of sounds, right? Let's play around with our resonators a little bit, all right? Let's take our guns here and let's point this puppy forward. I mean, I want an ugly sound, all right? Let's have some fun. Sing. Heart of my heart, I love you. The wonderful part about that, even though it sounds terrible, it's nice to know that we have that as an option. Be it, let's say we're doing a jazz song, or some sort of quick piece where we got the little trumpets, you know, ba-da-da-da. That sort of stuff happens all the time in our music. What if we busted out this? You know, they're singing and ba-da-da-da, and then right back to great technique. That make sense? So let's try this again. Just follow my fingers. Let's see what sort of sounds we get. Let's make it nice and ugly. With a good breath, all the things. And stacking the onion skins and all that stuff. Just keep stacking. Here we go. Heart of my heart, I love you. Now that's a rich, beautiful lead sound. Did you catch that? Let's do that again. Everybody take your hands, point your guns forward, sing. Heart of my heart, I love you. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to find a whole lot better than that. Imagine you had a lead section like that all the time. How much damage could you do as a chorus, right? Right? That's exciting. Is this all making sense to you guys? Very simple stuff, right? Everybody can relate with this. Everybody can relate with this. You guys are very, very good. Wonderful. Oh, what's another one? What's another one threw out there? Which one? The barrel. Absolutely. Let's do the barrel. Let's challenge them in this way. Let's stay where we just landed. We had a great mix between space and the ring. Did you catch that? We had the heart, I love, and we found a great match. So let's stay there. But let's do this. Heart of my heart, I love you. And then let's can you do the next line after that? Let's go to the next line, okay? Here we go, barrel. Heart of my heart, I love. Let's do it one more time. I don't think we're maximizing the barrel. It needs to be a totally different sound, right? Heart of my heart. So fill the barrel. Fill the barrel. Feel the barrel. Here we go. Heart of my heart, I love you. Let's whisk it now. How does that sound? Life would be no different color, right? Good. Wonderful. Another thing, I'm going to have to remember what the technique. I just had one in my head, but now I'm going to forget it. Pen and flame would be good. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. You bring up a very good point. Let's sing half the bar. No, let's sing 80% less. Okay? Let's try that. So this is a soft passage. It's the start of the ballad. Okay? Heart of my heart, I love. Still pretty darn good, right? What if we cut that volume in half? Yeah? Let's try it again. Here we go. Heart of my heart, I love. Pretty good still. When we start, we start to get a little bit of the, right? You know, do you guys have training wheels on kid bicycles? Ready for it? They start to shake a little bit. You start to make you nervous, right? They okay? Let's do this. Let's bend the candle, right? And if you sing everything through an O, you can sing half the volume. It's still in control. Let's take our plane. Just kind of sing the song. Ooh, I'll buy that all day long. Yeah? That's a perfect example. All I did is I said, just sing to the candle and sing a little bit through an O. It's hard to sing. It's a lot easier. Oh. Just form the shape of an O on your mouth. You can sing super soft. Why it happens, I don't know. It just does. It just does. Is this all? You guys it's making sense, right? I travel all around the world and teach the exact same thing because it works. You know, when I go and coach courses, I say, do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, why haven't you thought about that? You know, it's simple stuff. So if you go back and teach this to your course, they're going to think you're a genius, right? Good. Is there any other ones you want to touch on? I want to make sure I don't fall over the time. What time do you do? Which one? The pitchometer. All right, let's have some fun with the pitchometer. All right. They're like, dang it. We don't even necessarily have to sing a song, but let's just sing a pitch. Bum, bum. Can we just do that? That's our pitchometer. Okay? Bum, bum. On a and then just follow me. I'll do this up high so you guys can watch my pitchometer as well. And you just find all the gray area here. Now, often, I'm giving them a little bit of an out here. You'll often hear a lot of fighting. You know, nobody can really find it. But then one technique that we do is we'll stop, and I'll have them bounce the chord 3 times. I'll explain to you what I mean in a moment. Bum, bum. Is that cool? Is that good for you? Bum, up a half. Now go and then bounce the chord 3 separate times. Does that make sense? So that'll be the exercise. So we'll go here, we'll go up a half, we'll come down slightly, and that'll cut you off, and we'll bounce it 3 times. Sure enough, it'll go boom, right in tune. It better. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. Up a half. Stop. Bounce it 3 times. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You keep holding on the very end. Bounce it 3 times. So we still have a little bit of fight. You hear that? Hear that? Very, very close. Let's do it again. Front it. Bum, bum. Here we go.
Where do you bounce to?
Where do you bounce? You bounce to the same note. The same note. So here's the exercise. What we do, if like the leads, you know, they're coming in on hard by hard. They're starting flat. We'll have them go. And we'll cut them off when they're not all the way back down. We'll have them go on that newly established halfway point of the pitchometer. And more times than not, it's just boom, right there. It'll happen this time. Ready? Bum, bum. Good, healthy half step. There you go. Here. That's right. Stop. Bounce it 3 times and hold it. There. Get good overtimes there. See that? It's a quick way to get us mentally back up on top of the pitch, especially if we've sung it a couple times, and we all know how this goes. We've sung it a couple times, and then we check the pitch pipe, and we're half step under. Does that happen to you guys? Yeah. It's a quick way to say, okay, let's start there. Bum, bum, and it reestablishes, it kind of resets the brain to the original key we should be floating in versus half step under. Cool? Good? Good. You girls can take a seat. How about a round of applause? A lot of people say, okay, Johnny, well, you've done this a whole bunch, and you're a great singer, and you sing in a good quartet and all this, and I can't do this stuff. Baloney. You can take the best chorus in the world, such as I'm fortunate to get to sing in one of them, the Ambassadors of Harmony, awesome chorus, great singers. And we still, to this day, do all of these sorts of techniques. And it always makes it better. Always. You know, there's varying degrees where they already do a really good job of singing rich and full, but the moment I give them one of these, it's always better. You know, so it's not like you have to be a brain surgeon and understand all the intricacies of chord structures and this and that. If you just give them these simple techniques, more times than not, it's going to produce a better sound. You think we took 5 random ladies that never sung together, and we made them an outstanding section that almost anybody would like to have sing in their chorus, right? Yeah. Just like that. Just by using our hands and engaging the brain. Does this make sense? Cool. Questions? Feel free to ask questions. No questions. That's it. I'm sorry?
Can we get an email of one of those?
What's your email address?
What's my email address? I think you're all going to email me, aren't you? Let's think here.
Johnny,
yes.
I can take care of it. I'll take a snap of it. I'll post it to Facebook and get onto the education site.
One clap for that. Okay, perfect. Yes, sir.
I did notice that when you were doing particularly the beach ball,
yes,
that there wasn't just the sort of dynamic tension of pushing down the beach ball. You were also raising you were coming up on your feet a bit higher.
That's just
because that's part of it, or is that just
that's just habit for me personally. I always, it just feels natural for me because again, when I learned this technique, I was in college for this specific one, and you know, and too much energy just to go. So I'd always go, you know. So that's just part of my routine, but it certainly does help. You know, I mean, it gives that illusion that I'm above this pitch. I'm above, you know, my destination. So you can add it if you want. It requires no energy, but just
it's just something I've used with our chorus. Every time they can aim for something,
yep,
just come up on the balls of the feet a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. We use another one where if there's a really high note coming, like you know, if there's some high note, we just throw it right out the top of our head. You know, something like that. So maybe the beach ball, since you know this note only happens really fast, you know, it's a passing note in a high up tune. We'll have them do this, and then they'll just go, and just by using their hands, wow, and all of a sudden it pops right out the top of their head. Versus up and out. Yeah, another technique. Throw it out the top of your head. Good. Questions? What time do we finish? I kept the other class long by accident. So we got like 5 or 6 more minutes. Wonderful. Any other questions?
You mentioned about taking 35 years to get to that point.
Yes.
Having done it, do you know a way to get there quicker?
That's an awesome question, and the answer is yes.
I'm not telling you.
And I'll here's the truth. Here's the truth of the matter. It really depends on the type of course you want to be. You know, that's really what it comes down to. Because now, if we are even flirting with the idea of singing flat, the song will stop. You know, where I know sometimes we have a tendency, I know we're flat, but we better just go ahead and finish the tag anyway. And that's the philosophy of the culture, if you will, that we just don't deal with anymore. And the other thing, too, is that, you know, rewind back 20 years, you know, we've had a real rotation of membership. And every time this rotation happened, which is healthy for the chorus, you know, I mean, sometimes it's a negative when you lose one of your great members or they can't participate anymore, whatever it may be. But, I mean, I think it's through this churning of membership and improving the mindset and culture that we've established has finally led us to that point where the chorus just does not flat. It's pretty amazing. You take 150 guys, they do not sing flat. We just don't allow it. How's that? We just don't allow it. And it's constantly monitored. Now we don't necessarily have to monitor it as much. The big thing that we're working on now is pure target vowels all the time. Just as now we've, say, mastered singing on the pitch, our big thing now is pure target vowels. When we get to an ooh, it's not a ooh. That's our ooh. That's our pure ooh for our chorus. And we have to constantly. That's not a pure ooh. And as soon as I give them one of these, everybody's singing ooh. Ooh. Take your hand, hold it out the front of your face. Ooh. That's an ooh. All of a sudden we take the random voices. That's an and ooh. That's our next challenge as our chorus as we march forward. So, you know, everybody's got their, I don't say demons, but things that they're working on. And if you don't want to sing flat, if you don't want to let your chorus sing flat, then don't let them sing flat.
Jonny,
Sir.
do you ever talk in terms of the mechanism and everything? It's interesting because your approach is, you never mention soft palettes or space in the head or anything like this. It tends to be all very physical. So if you were coaching individuals, do you ever resort to that?
Rare. Rare, and here's why. 90% of our singers that hang out in the barbershop circle don't really know what the larynx and the soft palate and what that means and the tongue dropping and all that. I mean, there are singers out there in our organization who certainly understand the functionality of it. But the average guy that shows up once a week, understanding, he just wants to come and sing well, you know? And these are simple tools. Instead of saying, all right, when we take this breath, let's make sure the soft palate is raised, the larynx is and you bring up a good point, though, yeah. So I personally find it to be more beneficial and a heck of a lot quicker to come in here and say, just breathe through here.